Alright, so in our second video, we're going to get right into composing some stuff. And, well, the reason why we need to compose is because what improvisation is that it's composing instantaneously, I suppose. Um, Now, it's not as, I guess it's not as instantaneous as you think, because what you're doing is you're just doing things that you've already done before. Things that you've worked into your playing, things that you've written over and over and over again. They're kind of just like a bunch of things in your back pocket that you pull out and you organize in whatever manner you're feeling at that moment. Which is why we were going to talk so much about the palettes, about those rhythmic palettes from the first video. We're just building up your palette so that you can eventually improvise freely. It's sort of like if you were to, it's like how you speak. You don't think about every single word that you're going to say. You think of the goal of your sentence, and then you use words to construct the sentence that has the meaning that you wanted to convey. So anyway, let's talk about some of the rudiments that you need to go through here. And some of the rudiments might be, the keys. Every key. That's a poor key. But anyway, you're going to need to know all your keys, all right? And you're going to need to know all of your chord spellings, all right? So if you don't know those yet, this is the circle of fifths. Going around this way, we're adding a sharp every time. Going around this way, we're adding a flat every time. Now, I don't want to get into this right now, this or the chord spellings, so maybe I'll make separate videos for those, and I'll put them down in the description below, or do some kind of annotation type thing if this goes up on YouTube, where you can find those and you can brush up on your rudiments before you get into this video. And, I would take the approach of, eating your vegetables, but then also having dessert after dinner as well, so maybe you go to the rudiment video and you find, something on the key of C, or B flat, E flat, F, something like that, some keys that we typically use more commonly. And then you'll learn one of these and then come back to this video and, you see we have a B flat 7 here. We can talk about that, so don't just do, that video, then this video. Don't worry about learning every single one of your keys before you can play, because that's going to get real boring real quick, and that's what turns a lot of people off of, what we're doing, taking the theory approach to playing. So, that's just something that I think might be good for you, is to play a little bit, learn and play at the same time. So in any case, what we're going to take a look at right now is called the chordal skip. The chordal skip. All right. So basically, what chord tones are just the notes that are being played in the piano. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focused on composing something using the chordal skip, and the chordal skip is moving from one chord tone to another. So we know that our chord tones in B flat 7 are B flat, D, F, and A flat, because this is dominant. I should probably tell you that what we're going to be looking at right now is we're going to be looking at the tune Freddie Freeloader in the key of B flat. It's a blues, so this is going to give us a lot of time to kind of work out our ideas, because the chords don't change very much, as you can see. We got B flat for 4 measures, then we got E flat 7 for 2, back to B flat, good old B flat, we know B flat. Then this is the turnaround, so we got the 5 chord, 5, 7, coming back to the 4. I know classical theory, this is kind of like a regressive kind of progression, but this is how we play the blues. And then it goes back to home, our B flat 7, good old B flat that we know. So let's just start composing here. So the easiest of our chord tones that we would pick out, right, would be a B flat. that doesn't even look like a B flat. That looks like C. I got to work on drawing on this thing. Sorry, team. So we got a B flat. Maybe another chord tone that we could pick out that's pretty close might be the A flat. Just going in that downwards fashion. Maybe we'll go to F, and then we'll play D at the end right here. That doesn't look like a D. I apologize for the poor writing. So there's D right there. So these first 4 bars, maybe let's. So the way that I came up with this was just these are simply whole notes, and using the chordal skip is skipping to another chord tone from where we started. So here is here's what this sounds like. Just going through this, the 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that is what this chordal skip sounds like. Basically, we're just pulling out the chord tones that the piano is playing during our solo line. So, some people call these chord tones safe tones. If you're running out of things to say or you don't know what to do, default to your chord tones. Your chord tones are always going to sound nice over whatever chord you're playing because it's part of the chord. All right, so now this chordal skip, you don't need to move in the exact same directions that I did, right? You got a lot of possibilities here. Instead of going from your B flat to A flat, you can move up to D, right? Or you can even make a jump to a farther chord tone. Maybe you take that F below, or maybe you take the F above. You could stay on the same one. That's something that a lot of people take for granted, is staying on the same note. Maybe you'd go from this D back to B flat and stay on B flat down here. Stay on B flat this way. There's a lot of things that you could do. Later on we'll talk about maybe building some intensity in your solos, maybe what you'd like to do over it, because especially over blues. A blues is only 12 bars. You could definitely take at least 3 zillion choruses over a blues on a gig. So we'll talk about varying your solos, starting them off and stuff like that. Anyway, so this is a chordal skip. Pretty explanatory, I'd say there. So now in the next 4 measures, we got another a different chord in here. So our chord tones actually change. So now instead of B flat, D, F, A flat, now we have E flat, G, B flat, and D flat in the E flat 7 chord. So you can choose through any of those, and so maybe we'll start with a B flat again. We love that B flat. That looks like a C flat. Great. Okay, so we love that B flat, right? Now maybe we'll move down to a G here, and this is where things get a little more interesting, because now we're changing chords back to our B flat. So now you can think about moving to a chord tone that's within the B flat, and maybe that would be the F or the A flat. You might want to pick something that's close. Get like a nice voice leading, like a nice line sort of. So maybe we'll go from the G, and we know that the A flat is only a half step away, so we'll take that A flat, and then to keep that, we've been using like a downwards contour a lot, so maybe we'll jump back up to this B flat again, right? So let's go back to here. And so let's keep the original line here. Let's not do any of this purple stuff, right? But I know that it seems like we're changing. We're not really changing tunes here, because that page turn that I have here, because my thing is a little small. So maybe let's change this to because we got a B flat here. and maybe we don't want to go all the way from that D up to the B flat. So I got that A flat. Maybe from A flat we could take it to, oops, we could take that A flat up to a B, maybe, a B flat, then up to a D, and then we'll end up coming back down to that B flat. Alright, so, whoops, here are the next 4 bars. Oh, sorry for the delay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was the exact same thing, the chordal skip, and you can hear with that chord change moving from the G to the A flat. Sounded pretty nice with that half step leading into the 7th. So basically, any tune that you got, go through, analyze your chords, find out all the spellings, and then go from there and use a lot of chord tones. Alright? So, yeah. In the next video, we'll talk about a tune that has a couple more chord changes in it. Alright?